Okay, going to try to make this a quick episode here, and basically I got this thing running, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take this plastic all off and kind of look at the frame, and I've got some other parts that we're going to put on here maybe pretty quick. There's some rust on the frame I need to address before I start moving forward any further. So I'm just going to take off all the plastic, kind of look around. I've got a new radiator and stuff to be put on, so this episode will be pretty quick. I've already got the most of this unhooked. We're just going to remove the key switch and the dash light from the front plastic here. There's no headlights. There's no headlight bulbs, but I am going to want to run this, so I need to keep the neutral and other lights plugged in. And we'll go ahead, and when we hooked everything back up, we'll go through and clean all these connections too. And I mean, you could really just see that this four-wheeler has just sat outside. Everything is kind of rusty and dirty on this quad, which I mean is kind of common for you know, off-road vehicles. But if I'm going to be tearing it apart this much, I really want to just clean this up as we go. But you kind of got to know what you're working with first. Now we might remove the battery. But I'm looking for the headlight. These are the headlight plug-ins here. These are the $40 light bulbs that were missing a piece. It's going to cost me $80 to plug them light bulbs back in. So there's a reason we're taking the rear off. I've got another, I've got an HMF exhaust, and I need to access the brake cup for when we bleed the brakes. Kind of jam these bolts in here a little funny. Then you've got two rubber grommets on the back end here that are like pressed into the back of the seat. These two rubber grommets, man, they were, after I painted this fairing set, man, it's a nightmare to get these back in there. Ugh. tail light's still plugged in. I'm probably going to end up pulling the gas tank off, so we'll just go ahead and remove all the plastic. Now, as you can see, that this ATV is pretty dirty, so we're just going to kind of clean up everything as we go, and I'll clean up all these electrical connections, and then for the next video we will probably we'll probably start with the radiator and replace the radiator, and then work on the brake system. That whole rear carrier is going to have to be tore apart. All the rubbers for the grease and everything are all just ripped up and shredded apart. So, and I've got new sprockets, new brake rotors, new chain, new pretty much everything. But we'll get this all figured out. It may take a little bit of time, but we'll just kind of get it cleaned up as we go. As you can see, some of the links on the chain are so rusted that they won't even bend on here. So we'll just break that chain loose. And all the rubber, I mean, it's just got cuts all up in there. The sway bar doesn't look too bad. They've been known to break from what I understand. So we'll probably just leave that until it gets broke. As for the rear one here, it's all cut up too on the back, and I've got a new rotor for that. I've got another exhaust system, head pipe, and an HMF exhaust. We'll change the radiator out. Instead of a single core radiator, I went to a dual core, and I think they threw new rims and tires on here when they did sell it to me because it's such a mess. But we're just gonna have to take our time to get this cleaned up. I want to make this pretty nice, so I don't have to worry about much when I go out and ride.